many people's lives have been changed, obviously for the worst, as a result of blackmail. Many people have had all kinds of sour experiences just because of a blackmail. So it obviously has impacts that you never really envisage, you never really expect, but it happens. So the question then is, what is the best way to handle a blackmail when it does happen? The phone lines are open. The floor is yours now, so let's talk. 0817 923 0002, 0817 923 0003. You can also call 0817 923 0007 or 0817 923 0009. On WhatsApp, it's 0809 030 6416. That is 0809 030 6416. Good afternoon, you're welcome.
Yeah, good afternoon.
You're welcome. Go ahead.
Yes, my name is Precious. I'm calling from Meneka.
Go ahead, Precious.
Yes, when it comes to what's it called, this sex tape releasing
Blackmail, really.
and blackmail rather. In terms of what is it called? What is this lady? She was savage. Why is it that is she the only one involved? It's a sex tape, and sex involves two persons. Why is it that the other party is not even bothered, or is it that she recorded herself or having sex with herself? I don't understand. In terms of this other man from Bayelsa, his own sex tape, is it that he was videoing himself? Is the girl also naked in the video? So I really don't understand, and they put themselves in these issues. Thank you very much.
So what then is the best way to deal? Oh my goodness. Okay, I was actually waiting for the end of your contribution, and sadly you didn't give me that. What I'm really asking, what is the best way to deal with a blackmail? It does happen, and quite shockingly, we're even finding 19-year-olds who are blackmailing other people for diverse reasons, for 15 million naira anyway. Specifically. Good afternoon, you're welcome.
Hello, good afternoon,
You're
presenter.
welcome.
This is Anyanwu. I'm calling from Moji, Port Harcourt.
Go ahead.
Blackmailing, sometimes those blackmailers, they feel they are okay with blackmailing people. I've been a victim of such. What I'm saying so is that my dad, as a person, since I know him, hasn't involved himself in killing someone, but people choose to blackmail him based on the fact that someone is missing in the village. They go ahead posting all sort of rubbish in the social media. So it's best known to those blackmailers. In case of those entertainers like Tiwa Savage, to me, if she can go on his normal life, it's a norm, not something to die with. Thank you.
Thank you very much for sharing that. Good afternoon, Chimbrama. You're welcome.
Thank you. You are asking a question, say, how can we handle a blackmail? Am I right? Hello?
Yes, Chimbrama. Go ahead.
Yes, the best way to handle it is just to run to God. We run to God when we travel. Just embrace the word of God and then go to God. Go to your priest or your pastor and make confessions. I don't know whether you understand. Be calm. Because blackmail can make somebody to hang himself or herself. Blackmail can make somebody commit suicide. You agree with me? Hello?
Yes, Chimbrama.
Yes. By the time the whole thing is escalated, where will you keep your face before people, before the public? How will you hide your face? How will you talk with people? You can't come out and associate with people. The person is finished. I don't know whether you understand what I'm saying. You just go to the house of God and lie down there and make confessions. And then, Bible said that Jesus Christ told the adulterous woman, say, go home and sin no more. Hello?
Yeah.
I think that's the solution I have.
All right. Thank you very much for sharing. Good afternoon, Steve. You're welcome.
thank you. Good afternoon. Yeah,
You're
I
welcome. Go
want
ahead.
to talk about the issue you raised. I think it's a quite serious one. For one to be blackmailed. I have not been actually blackmailed, but my father has been.
Wow.
And it was a very serious thing on the family and the people around. Can I talk about it just briefly? Hello?
Yeah, I'm with you. Go ahead.
Yeah. 2 years back, my father was accused of going to stand as a witness in the court for another family. And it resulted to a situation where the accusers, conspired with other people, called the entire village together, and then accused my father of going to stand in the court as a witness. Unless did we know that one of our family brothers who had the verdict of that particular case was the one who went to the court, bore my father's name, because my father was part of that suit. And so he went to the court and stood in the name of my father. So this family got the judgment, and it went, it did not go in favor of them, and so they accused my father because they felt my father had that verdict. After the accusation, they said, okay, my father, nobody will come to his house, he has been expelled from the community and all that. The following day, one of the accusers lost her daughter. And my father, even myself with my mom, we all went to their family to sympathize with them. Though we were not chased away. After about 8 years, the very man who went to the court to stand bearing my father's name, the name came up. After everything, my father has suffered trauma and rejection in the community. You know what that means? I couldn't associate with my brothers in the community freely. And so after 8 good years, the real name came up. And they came to apologize to my father that they didn't know. So, to cut the long story short, my dear, blackmail is a very serious thing.
I'm just curious to
Thank
know,
you,
what was your father's reaction when they came back to apologize?
Thank you. Yeah, when they came, it was actually one of my family brothers that came when we were having a family meeting that, yes, they have now known the real person that went to the court to stand for the other family, and he threw it open, and everybody shouted. Good, I think the man was there. They asked him, did you do this? He accepted. My father's reaction was like, thank God the community, the village people did not come to demolish his house. He's still alive today to hear this, that he would do nothing against the man or to the man, but only God who made it possible will judge him.
Oh dear, Steve, please do call back if you would like. But really, thank you for sharing that with me. In many cases, it is never as easy as it sounds. In many cases, the people who have been blackmailed go down for it. Do you remember the young teenage boy, Nigerian boy, who killed himself because he was accused wrongly? Do you remember that? That's one out of many cases. There are people who say, look, if you do not agree to my terms, if you do not agree to give me this money, if you do not agree to do whatever it is they demand of you, I'll go ahead and say anything. I'll go ahead and accuse you of anything. I'll go ahead and post whatever content or whatever evidence I have of you on that's in my phone on social media. It's really insane. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon.
You're welcome, Mr. Zion.
Thank you very much. I think it all narrows down to how much information individual is in his or her possession. Take note, blackmail is not only on sex state. It might be other issues involving life and socials. I think the first is to report the case to the police. The first thing you should do, report the case upon contact, and do not establish communication with those individuals anymore. Then you look for a support group. Support group as in some colleagues or close people around you that the issue can be discussed in discretion and well-mannered and cultural among that circle. Then you prepare yourself for a response day because you like it or not, one or two calls must come. This is what I'm hearing about you on social media. Is it true? Like for me, I'm a survivor. I've been blackmailed one time, still in Bayelsa State.
Wow, really?
I'm telling you the truth. Still in Bayelsa State. You know, from our little income, we say let us help people just at least. Before I got a text message, they say I'm a fraudster. Why? Because I say let's do a giveaway. Oh my goodness me, the news spread up. And I had a call from somebody, a professional actually, that says, is it true? I said, no, just give it, just normal giveaway. The truth is the person that spread the news is somebody that is not even aware that people can have, by the grace of God, be surviving in that kind of capacity. And the professional said, look, as long as what you know you are doing is good, continue. Gabby, guess what? I continued in that state. Have I stopped? No. Am I still doing it? Yes. Is it blackmail still surviving? No. The truth is this. In this part of the world, because of poverty and illiteracy, people went into blackmailing people. Take note, these are only the reported cases we are discussing. Just yesterday, I got a case of a little girl that was dating a guy, and give me yourself, your nude tape or whatever, she did it for him, and this guy used this tape against this girl from a reputable family. Before you know, the girl, their parents, according to the mom, money started recording lots of money in that house. Who is stealing our money? They don't know. Not until the big one hit them. 500,000 just disappear. No, they so must investigate the case. It is the daughter. How come we provide everything for you? You are comfortable at home. Why are you stealing? My boyfriend said he's going to expose me because I gave him my nude tape. Really? They tracked the guy and arrested him that yesterday. Honestly, is the lady being depressed? That girl is under depression right now. So for young people or whoever you are dating, oh, it's a distant relationship, send me your nude photo so that I can be relaxed. Don't try it. Send me so part of your body. Let me and console myself. Don't try it. Don't try it. Before you know, this same person you thought you are dating or you are married to or whatever will upload your file either to porn sites or for whatever, just to destroy your personality. So you should be very careful, Mr. Zion.
Mr. Zion, thank you so much for your thoughts as well on the matter. Remember, we're streaming live on Facebook, so you can, join the conversation on there if you prefer, at Nigeria Info 92.3 PH. We're also on WhatsApp. The WhatsApp number is 0809 030 6416. 0809 030 6416. We'll be taking some comments on there shortly. But you see, this is a conversation that obviously would need to be expanded upon because the time obviously is almost running out, and so we cannot exhaust all there is to talk about this. Like one of the things that Mr. Zion brought up, which was something that I was going to come to much later, was the fact that how do these people who eventually how do these people who eventually turn out to be blackmailers get in possession of such, material that is incriminating because of a relationship you have with them? Be you a brother, sister, friend, or a partner, a romantic partner. Does that then mean that maybe people need to be more cautious when exploring and taking adventures in that regard? People obviously need to be more careful because it's friends who turn to foes. It's friends who turn enemies. And when a friend turns enemies and has as much incriminating material to use against you, if the person obviously has a bad mind, the person will not hesitate to blackmail you. Let's take some comments on Facebook and WhatsApp, and then we'll wrap the conversation up. Gabriel Barry Precious says, sincerity, truth, and honesty are the cure to blackmail. Once you are open, no one will have anything against you. How open can you get, Precious? On social media, for instance. So let's assume, Precious, you are in a relationship with your partner and you have recorded whatever you have recorded. In a bid to be sincere and true and honest in your words, would you go on your Facebook page, for example, or on your Instagram page, for example, and say, hey, Instagram followers, or hey, Facebook followers, I just recorded a tape with my partner. Would you like to see it? How exactly do you do that? Because again, here the culprit is, look, if you don't pay me certain amount of money, if you don't do what I'm asking you to do, I'm going to release this tape on social media. That is the kind of blackmail we're talking about right now. So how open can you get in that regard, Precious? Do well to send another comment if you can to respond to that question. Iboroma Tono Ejit says, I think it's best not to have anything to do with a blackmailer in the first place. Avoid people who smoke if you do not like the odor of cigarettes. That's what I think. Well, the thing, Iboroma, to that, it's a good idea, but how do you identify a blackmailer in the first place? What are the telltale signs to look out for, not to engage or befriend a blackmailer? You can't tell. It's not written on anybody's forehead. As a matter of fact, the person who is closest to you, who loves you the most, who looks out for you the most, could potentially become a blackmailer tomorrow. So you never really know now, do you? Let's see. Still on Facebook, Robin Van Bagia says, good afternoon, Gabriella. For me, I think the best way to handle blackmail is to resist the urge to engage with a blackmailer. Do not try to negotiate or pay the ransom. Preserve all communications and evidence. Enlist support from a trusted person to document the evidence. Adjust your online privacy. Set up online alerts. Report the crime to.
Usually when we get into graphic pictures of one, or people want to themselves or partner or something, when you don't have such, that is blackmail. If we're talking about that on social media today, right? And then maybe you committed something or something that is going to the statement. Rather than giving to the blackmailer, don't think it is better to have by going out, confessing to her exactly been handled or going to the crime. I mean, but when you do that, it's the way the part of the blackmailer. It's not the right thing.
Thank you very much for sharing that. Well, on WhatsApp, Thomas says, if you say you're... Oh, I beg your pardon. That's not for this conversation. Let's move on. Good afternoon. This is from Babalola from Port Harcourt. It says, the first step is to know who you send such material to and stop recording yourself, except if it is the person's job. Identifying the blackmailer and having evidence that the person is blackmailing you so you can report to the police. People do not know you can sue someone for sending screenshots of chats to degrade you. Well, this is from IBC. IBC says the best way to deal with it is just exactly the way Tiwa has handled her own. And shame to us who would rather drag the blackmailers will turn to drag and shame the victims, just like we do in this part of the world to victims of rape. And it's quite unfortunate, and it's the reason this rubbish festers. DJ says, hello Gabby, I disagree with one of your callers. What if it was a pastor that is blackmailing you? It has happened before. The best is to come clean and explain circumstances. If you've broken the law or committed a crime and someone is trying to blackmail you, just run off, because the blackmailer will always come back for more. DG. Interestingly, it's not always on social media. So a person is blackmailing you and say, look, if you do not come see my people and pay my dowry, I'll go tell your wife you have a baby with me. That's blackmail. And could be the other way around as well. if you don't come see me once a week or something, or you don't come visit me twice a week, I'll tell your husband I'm the father of your I'm the father of your third child. That's blackmail as well. And the thing is that we need to understand is with blackmailers, it just never ends. So I'll say this in closing as we wrap the conversation up. Be careful with everything that you do, with the people you relate with the people who are close to you, the decisions you take in the heat of the moment. Be careful, because you just never know which friend, which partner will turn around and become your enemy and the blackmailer who would want to ruin you for all that you have and for all you're worth. So you got to be careful. Be careful. And very importantly as well, do not engage a blackmailer. It is a crime. Report to the police. So and so person is blackmailing me, just like this man has done in Bayelsa. And right now she is being tried for that crime, because indeed it is a crime. So know this and know peace. When someone is blackmailing you, report to the police so the person can be arrested and serve their time in jail. Thank you very much for joining me on the show at 1 o'clock, the news update. And right after that, the conversation continues. Don't go away.